I want to start a movement. I want to start a movement of Gen Z. Generation Z, a movement. A lot of you have probably never been involved in a real live protest or a demonstration. I'm talking about if you're 15 and you're up to 20, every age in between, 16, 17, 18, 19, I'm going to put it to you that you can help save your own future. I'm going to give you 3 big reasons why you're going to get off your couch or you're going to start activating yourself to start Movement Z. Movement Z on TikTok, Instagram, social media. Get your friends, no more anything else. Get this, go for the 2nd of October and join Movement Z. And here's why you're going to go down there. It's called this, Let's Get Arrested. That's right. Gen Z, you tell all your friends, we're going to go down there because I'm going to tell you the reasons why, but you're going to call the actual branding of it, Let's Get Arrested. You're going to leave your homes. If you're 15, I don't know if you tell your mum or your dad, because the government says that 12-year-olds don't need to get permission to get a jab with a vaccine or to tell the parents that they're going to get an abortion, but you can tell the school counsellors, 12-year-olds. So I think 15-year-olds, come on down on the 2nd of October at about 10, 11 o'clock in the Auckland domain. I want to see 10,000 of you. 10,000 Generation Z who are coming down on that Saturday morning to lunchtime. They're going to go right down there with thousands of others, but you're going to be one of the stars of the show because it's your future that's been most messed up by this government. So you're going to call it, Let's Get Arrested. What do you mean get arrested? Well, you're going to go down there and the police might arrest you because you've got the courage to go and stand up, because if I let you keep doing this and we don't get off out of our home, our couches, we're never going to be able to party again. We're never going to be able to gather in big crowds again. We're never going to be free again to do what you want. They will lock you down. There's number one. They're going to restrict you. They're going to lock you down. You're going to be in a future where there is nothing that you can do. All your freedoms will be gone, kids. Do you want to live a life you can't get outside the door? You can't gather anymore because there's no more parties, no more concerts? You're going to be worse than us. You think this is bad because that effect is going to come on you. This is just the beginning. So if you want to save your future and having a great time in your freedoms, that's a big reason. Here's the second one. You're going into a future that's broke, bankrupt. You're going to have no homes and you're going to have no money. That's scary. Did you know this government right now is up to the hilt in debt? There is something like over $100 billion and more. That might not be accurate, I'm probably under, but that's the debt that my generation are going into, and you, Z generation, are going to go into a debt-laden future. You won't be able to get a home. You'll never have a home. You will never be able to, you'll be broke. You won't be able to get money, so there's no jobs. So if you want to have no money, no home, no future, then stay at home and don't do what I'm saying you to do. Here's the third one, and it's scary too, and I'm just going brief, why you should stand. Number 3 is because this government is feeding this generation fear. You've been fed fear. Your mother and father and adults have been overtaken by fear. We're fearing something that's killed 27 people in 1 year. And yet suicide has killed 696 people in 1 year. So we're fearing something that's killing only 26 people in the last 12 months. And yet suicide, that's the future you're going to as well. They're only giving you a future of suicide. Because fear will take you over with panic, with all sorts of anxiety and mental illness. The highest stats of suicide, and I shared this in one of my early morning videos, those stats now have gone from where 30 a month were doing this, has gone shot through the roof. 30 or 40 is now 90. 90 a month are committing or they are attempting suicide. And inside that there are children from the age of 10 to 14. That's why I'm talking about Generation Z. That 14, 15 and get into there, and those young men, the highest rate of suicides is in that group there, between Generation Z. because you've been in so much of this fear, the fear-mongering. And how do I know that this government is feeding a virus of fear? That's the real virus. COVID-19 is hardly doing anything. COVID-19 has only killed 26 people. There are going to be hundreds of thousands of people in the next 10 years that will die from mental breakdown, from suicides, and these are proven facts that I'm talking, who are going to actually come apart with sicknesses and psychosomatic illnesses brought on by the strain and stress and hopelessness. Oh, dear God, I mean, this is the whole message now tonight, just today. Look at this, the fear that's fed. Did you know that last night on TV1, government-owned television station, at the 6 o'clock news, did you know what happened on the 6 o'clock news? This epidemiologist, which is to do with pandemics and epidemics, you know, got onto the news, couldn't hardly say the name, got onto the news and last night said this across the airwaves. I want to tell you that you need to act like you've got COVID. I'm like, what? You need to act like you got COVID. And then if you see everybody else, you see them as having COVID. I'm telling you the truth. So right there, that's feeding fear into the whole population through the national broadcast on TV1 News. That's unbelievable, isn't it? So if you see somebody, you act like they got COVID. And then that prophet of doom told you through the TV on news that you should believe that you've got COVID. Wow, they're prophets too, but they're false prophets, prophets of doom, telling you that you've got to have COVID. They're almost trying to speak it on you. Well, I got a question, is this really all false? Is it just a bad case of the flu? And so then they say that when you go outside, so you've got to see, so you're treating people with fear and suspicion, that person's got COVID. And now you've got people now fearing each other. See what they're doing? They're dividing. They're changing the whole mentality of when I was normal before all this rubbish. I was a happy person. I mean, I just walked around free, living life, doing what I want, and I didn't look at people suspiciously or seeing if they got too many people in that boat. You can snitch on them and ring the police. That's incredible. That's the government's spreading a virus of fear. That's every reason now why I'm asking Generation Z to get out there and start now promoting and get on social media to join Generation Z. And your whole theme was for the 2nd of October, let's get arrested. Why am I saying let's get arrested? I'm saying it because if the police are there and if we're on lockdown 3, we're still going. Because the country is too far gone. The legislations are too dangerous. The loss of our freedoms and the loss of our future is just not a consideration to think that it will just go away when she takes the lockdown level off 4 and go to 3 or 2 and everybody thinks we're free again. You're not free. She's going to wait for another outbreak and she'll put you back in the cage. She may even get you to be lulled or bewitch you to thinking that she's not going to lock you down anymore. We said about these crazy lockdowns and that. And won't do that anymore, but I wouldn't believe what they say. So it can only be changed from amongst the people from the ground up. There has to be a movement of people, enough sound, enough noise. Don't stay silent. See this scripture I read to you? They try to silence them from not speaking. They try to stop them from gathering the people together so they can tell them the real truth about Christ. They did everything to come against them. I reckon that's cool, you know. Well, we're willing to get arrested. I am. I know my leaders, my pastors, my elders, they've all said the same thing. We are not going to break the law because we've not broken any law. We're not criminals. In fact, we've been abused by some other people who have broken the law, by stripping away our freedoms, locking us down. For what? I've done nothing wrong. I'm not going out there like that epidemiologist said go outside and believe that you got COVID and believe that everybody else you see's got COVID. That's what it's been all built up on, a lie of fear. You get this? I mean, that's true. So that gets me right up. I'm excited because if we all have to stand there on the domain and our message is, no, we no longer have confidence in you. You've taken away our freedoms. My children's future now is in jeopardy. So I'm asking these young ones to stand and get 10,000 of you to turn up and let's see what they do. I don't believe they'll really want to arrest so many people, and especially when we tell them, well, the real criminals is the government. The government have let us down. The team of 5 million have been let down by this Labour government. They've let people come through the borders with their incompetence. And quarantine centres, escapees, jumping out the window and walking out the door and coming right through South Auckland, and there the bad flu it gets around, and then we're all locked down. South Island, you got a gripe. You were locked down for I don't know how many weeks and months, and down there you didn't even have any cases down there. Dear me, we've got every reason to come out and say, nah, we've had enough, no more.